Now let's cover allocating time. Allocating time is probably the hardest thing to learn on the About Time system. But you'll see from this demonstration, it's actually simple. Once you have it, or once you've seen someone do it, you'll have it down pat where it's no longer an issue. I want to allocate Russ's time. I know that he clocked in at 7:30 and then he clocked out at 4:38. But I know that he worked on other cost codes between that time. And that's what the allocating feature is for. It allows us to break up his in and out time and add things in between. Now the first thing you have to do is highlight the in and the out record. Again, I'm holding down the control key and clicking and selecting the out record. That will then give me the total of the time that he's worked for this day, which he's worked 9 hours and 8 minutes. But I know that for the first 3 hours of the day, that he wasn't working on, that he started on carpet, but he did other things after that 3-hour time period. So I'm going to select 3 hours, I'll click on allocate, I'll keep it the same that he worked on carpet, and I'll select the cost code. So now you can see from 7:30 to 10 a.m. for those 3 hours, he worked on carpet. And now it gives me the default in cost code, which means I still need to break up the rest of his time. So I'm going to highlight the in and the out again. I have 6 hours and 8 minutes remaining. I'm going to say for 4 hours and 8 minutes, delivery. So I'm going to select that. But he ended on a different cost code. So I'm going to select the in and the out again, and I'm going to click, so we're fulfilling the last 2 hours of his day. Click on end shift instead of allocate. That's important. Make sure that you select end shift for the last cost code that he works during the day. We'll say that he worked on flooring doing tile, and that was the last cost code that he worked during the day, the last task that he performed. That's been set. So I can see at 7:30 he started working on carpet for 3 hours up until 10:30, which is when he began working on delivery. And then at 2:38 he started his last cost code of the day, which was tile work. Now I could come down. Let's say that Jay Leno worked the same shift as Russ. He performed all of the same cost codes at all of the same time. They were buddies during the day, working together as partners to perform those tasks. They got there at the same in time, they left at the same out time. Well, I could highlight Jay, his in and his out, and then I could say that I'm going to allocate the same time to him that Russ Hansen had. So if I select Russ, you'll see it breaks up Jay Leno exactly as we had allocated Russ. So that saves me the time for having to go through and allocate Jay Leno individually with all of the same cost codes that Russ had. In fact, I can simplify that process and use the allocate same as feature. So you can see that there's some great shortcuts in this area to break up your time and to edit time for your employees.